Is it live? Are we live yet? Oh, yes, it appears so. All right, streaming on all the censoring websites. Welcome one, welcome all. We're going to answer today's question. Would you vote for Robert F. Kennedy if he ran as a Democrat? Would I? That's like saying, would I live in a world where, Jeffrey Dahmer didn't kill anybody? Sure, I would love to. That'd be great. But I don't think it's really an option. I mean, I would have loved to vote for Bernie as a Democrat, but he got railroaded twice and then told people to vote for a dude who gave a eulogy at a Klan member's funeral. So it's like, yeah, I would love to see Robert F. Kennedy. I mean, I follow him on social media, censoring ass social media. But I also like follow his podcast. I was just listening to him talk about like his uncle JFK, how he used to have like African leaders come to their house, expose him to revolutionary ideology. He had, I've been aware that JFK he was a fan of Patrice Lumumba, the Congo leader, who ended up being killed by Western powers, including Belgium, the U.S., British intelligence agencies. They killed him, dismembered his body. The only thing left was a tooth, and they gave the tooth back like years after he died. So it's just like, I like what he stands for. I like that he continues to advocate for uh, taking away all the corporate power. He says that corporations shouldn't be running our regulatory agencies. He says if he becomes president, he's gonna we need someone to fight from the top down. He understands that our government is totally corrupt, especially the federal government. Um, yeah, it would be groovy if Robert F. Kennedy was able to like give it a fair shot. Because I mean, I think most people would vote for anybody but Joe Biden, most disliked president in my lifetime, multiple lifetimes, even more disliked than Donald Trump. After all the propaganda, Donald Trump is evil, Donald Trump is the worst. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump at all. But, um, it's just like, let's look at the kill count. It's like, I'm not a fan of any serial killer, John Wayne Gacy or Albert Fish or anybody, but I think John Wayne Gacy has a higher kill count. So it's like, I could just look at the statistics and be like, John Wayne Gacy is worse. And I think Joe Biden would be a more legendary serial killer since he's been advocating for um, like war since before it was popular. He was an advocate of the Iraq war before we even had 9/11. You know, he was like talking about they had weapons of mass destruction in the 90s. He was like priming us up for that bullshit. Of course, he profited heavily off of the Ukraine war. His son was given a job at a Ukraine energy company. They knowingly uh, uh, brought in a crackhead with no discernible talent just to have access to the vice president so they can get like that corruption going. Second most corrupt country in the world after the U.S. So we are the country that corrupts. Joe Biden is a big part of that. Matt, I'm not a fan of Barack Obama. He tricked me to voting for him once. Thought he was going to be um, moving us to a healthcare for all system. I beat up on him. Thought he was shit. But he probably was only as terrible as he was because he had a that Klan member Joe Biden as his vice president. It's like a video of Joe Biden talking about what if Barack Obama died randomly, and it's, people talk about Joe Biden's cognitive decline. But I think everything he says, has intention, has purpose. Like he plays dumb, but also, might also have something to do with the crack smoke that the Bidens are into, because Hunter Biden didn't pick up his crack addiction from nowhere. Hanging out with old Jim Crow Joe, uh, Klan member, hangs out with Nazis and all that shit. So that's probably, probably had to pick up crack. I mean, he had his Joe Biden was in his son's phone as pedo Peter. So it's just like, yeah, I think it's hard not to pick up a crack addiction. But yeah, like the Democrats are already saying, even though Joe Biden's the least liked president of our lifetimes, um, yeah, the Democrats are all in. They're saying they're not even going to allow a debate, no matter how popular RFK gets. So it's like, I would love to see Robert F. Kennedy, like actually given a shot. But after invested in um, Bernie Sanders campaign for 2 times, just to watch him just say Joe Biden's my friend, or telling people to vote for Hillary. Um, yeah, I just, because RFK already said that he's close to the Bidens, the Kennedys and Bidens, and it would break my heart if he was like, yeah, let's get behind him. If RFK ran as a third party candidate, oh, that would be glorious. If I can get him to confirm, once the Democrats fuck me over, I run third party. I'd be like, yeah, let's get some energy into this candidacy. But until then, it's just hard to believe he's not going to do the same shit. I don't vote Democrat, but anybody but Biden. See? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I voted for the Democrats one time, just once. Shame on them, because they couldn't give me the second time for me to say shame on me. Barack Obama, he just got that one 2008 vote, and I realized he was full of shit, and it was just never again. Not a Democrat, not a Republican. But like I said, if RFK, by some miracle, because it would just have to take everybody in the Democratic Party just being terminated, being getting the perp walk, serving time, being brought to justice for war crimes, for fascism, engaging in financial fraud, defrauding the American people, working with the banks to steal millions of homes. If those people got arrested and they didn't have any power anymore, and we could just like go to their jail cell and do a little dance to celebrate the occasion. That's when I'll be like, okay, I'll fuck with RFK, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I could be wrong, could be way off, but yeah, they've already showed their hand. They're not about to let them run. Like the higher ups at the party, they're already saying that they would never let a debate happen between Joe Biden and anybody, no matter how popular the other candidates get or how unpopular Joe Biden gets. Like, we just gotta shut up and take whatever the fuck they give. Even though Joe Biden, when he first ran, he was like, "I'm only gonna be a one-term president. I'm just gonna do this one term. I'm done." And now he's just like, no, he gets that one term, and then now we don't have any other choice. And it's like people who actually bought into it. People were like, "Oh, we gotta vote for the lesser of two evils." The lesser of two evils. That's the most efficient evil. I mean, just knowingly buying into the fact that you're going to vote for one of the top two evil candidates is just like you already lost. Like, that's the top two evil. You can't count beyond two to see that you have another option or write in somebody. You voted for the top two candidates. Um, yeah, so it's just like, and then like he said, one term, everything he said was a lie. and then like you hated Trump, all this shit, but shit got significantly worse since Trump left office. That's why one of the things I fear is just it's going to be a cakewalk for Trump. I mean, they're trying to railroad him. They got the FBI, other intelligence agencies working against Donald Trump, which makes me feel bad because I'm like, that's illegal. I don't like Trump. But what they're doing to him is wrong. Now it's like I'm in the position of having to defend Trump because I don't want a tyrannical government overreaching, stealing our rights. When they silenced Donald Trump while he was still the president on social media, even though these social media companies get billions of dollars in welfare, right? I'm in the position of just being like, because in part because I did receive censorship of my own. I've experienced that, but and also it's just like you're censoring the president. No matter how much you hate him, you want to know what he's saying. He could be like, "We're gonna nuke this country. We're gonna like dump chemicals in Ohio's water." He could be just saying some crazy shit. And he's a president, so he has the power to do shit. So you want to be able to hear what he has to say. But he got censored by the biggest welfare queen companies who love Joe Biden, and they don't allow you to speak critically of Joe Biden. They will cover up his corruption. When his son's laptop got discovered because he got high on crack, and all of the corruption, exposing his ties to Ukraine, his ties to China, his ties to all these countries because of his dad. He wouldn't have any money or influence if it wasn't for his dad. I mean, he has a crippling drug addiction, but he has all this power. He has money to fund biological weapons labs, all this stuff, and it could be exposed. And the social media will censor it because while they're working with the FBI, that's like that's overreach beyond imagination. That's why I mean, even before um, Joe Biden was even, I mean, I was going to say before he was thought of to be the president, Hillary Clinton was saying that Joe Biden was next when she lost. She was able to accurately predict that because she knew that the corruption was moving in a certain direction. But uh, yeah, but Joe Biden is just like you said, anybody but him. I feel like that's the overwhelming sentiment in the country. Even the people who were fooled into voting for the lesser of two evils. And now it's just like, assuming Donald Trump, I mean, even if he does go to jail, but assuming he's not in jail, uh, it's going to be, I don't even think Donald Trump has to get the nomination. There's going to be a bunch of people just writing him in just to say, fuck you to Joe Biden. But then again, I also am not of the belief that our elections aren't totally rigged. Microsoft Election Shield, um, that's a way for giant corporation like Microsoft. They work with the Department of Defense, Department of War, and they make sure that their guy who's going to secure all their welfare gets in. Republicans and Democrats both have a very high kill count. Yeah, that's why I don't vote for the Republicans. And it's extremely frustrating when I say, "Oh, I don't like Donald Trump." I'm like, "Oh, so you like Joe Biden?" No, I don't like Joe Biden. "Oh, so you like Donald Trump?" You know, you know. And then when I was like, "Oh, I don't fuck with Hillary." "Oh, so you're sexist?" "No, I'm voting for uh, Jill Stein." Well, a vote for Jill Stein is a vote for Donald Trump. Just like it's just like mental gymnastics. That just like just take away your ability to say anything without like you being a bad person because they want you, like, if you don't vote for the person they want you to, they turn you into like the most evil person. And it's just like an extremely divisive way of viewing the world. And I got friends who are in you're supposed to be activists, but it's really activism, uh like paid activism. Because there's certain groups. It was a group they tried to get me to be a part of. They were exposed being taking money from Pfizer Dude told me that their top three goals previous quarter were not just one vaccine that everyone had was mandated to get, but they also wanted to give people a monkeypox vaccine, and then the third was kids vaping. Like this is the thing that they're activism group, right? They're supposed to be legendary, um, but this is what they come to. You know, back in the activists back in the '60s, you know, they were trying to fight for economic justice. Martin Luther King died putting together a poor people's march, trying to end war. But yeah, the people, it's like collusion with these activists in the military branch. And my partner, who's like, he works with different companies. Um, he was saying he couldn't vote for Bernie Sanders because he wasn't for reparations, and he was all about supporting Tom Steyer, the billionaire, because Tom Steyer was voting for reparations. I'm like, dude, Bernie Sanders had a difficult enough time getting people behind Medicare for all, which is cheaper, right? I'm a black person. I would love to get reparations. I mean, I would love to just get the money back that the government stole from me. You know, like when I lived in California, it was all kinds of fees just that came with just living in that area, and I would love to just get my own personal money back. That would be great. If someone was behind, did that, I'd be all for it. You know, and I'd allow anybody of any color, stripe, to get reimbursed from the money that the government stole. That would be great. But getting reparations for slavery, that's a that's a that's a tall hill to climb. And Tom Steyer, there's no fucking way he would have got that kind of approval. I think he just said that shit just so he can like shut people down like Bernie and just say, oh, he's a racist for not caring about reparations. But if he got in office, there's no way we would have been getting some reparations checks. What the fuck are you talking about? Um, but yeah, this is like the mind, and then he was also one of those people. He's like he hates Donald Trump voters. I'm like, you hate Donald Trump voters. Like, you don't think there's a reason people voted for him? Like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not no fan of Donald Trump, but he was talking out all sides of his mouth. You know, he was talking about ending wars. He was talking about healthcare for all. Didn't believe it. I knew he wasn't going to do it. That's why I was like Jill Stein. But, he said he had a more compelling argument than someone like Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton wouldn't even admit something was wrong. Donald Trump was like, make America great again, like it's ever been great. You know, it's always had great potential. The America at its greatest was when we were united. We were coming together to overthrow tyrannical governments, but all the leaders of those movements were all neutralized. And, if he was talking about, that bringing that fervor back, um, that would be more believable. But, some people probably saw that in his slogan. People saw what they wanted to see, like Barack Obama. He's talking about his thing was change. People knew something needed to change. He made shit worse. But it was some kind of a change. And that's what, uh, uh, what people wanted. Thanks for being honest, Nate. So many people saying how wonderful everything is with Biden. Hell nah. It's people who I used to like keep up with. And I like, after there was a few voices I discovered, like, around Bernie's first run, 2016. Um, and I kept up because it was frustrating. I knew the money was drawing people to say certain things about certain candidates. I knew there was money to incentivizing people to get behind Hillary, right? So when I saw people like supporting Bernie, and I was like, hell yeah, because I was one of those people who turned down opportunities to celebrate Hillary because when she was running in 2008, I was like anybody but Hillary. And then I saw Barack Obama, and I was like, he's talking about changing the healthcare system. I'm like, Medicare for all, let's do this, you know. Um, but there's no way I was ever going to vote for Hillary. She's a super villain, just like Joe Biden. But yeah, so it's just but around Joe Biden's uh, first run, I saw like people. It's a dude. His name rhymes with Shmuel Shmelinsky, right? He was talking about well, I mean, before Biden ran, he was talking about he was all for mandated vaccines. So the Nazis would have loved him violating the Nuremberg codes and whatnot. Um, but he was also calling himself a Biden bro. I was like, this motherfucker lost sight of the plot. There's no way. So it's just like, yeah, just totally, just even before I lost my YouTube channel, stopped following all that shit. I was like, delete, any recommendation of any of his shit. And he ended up marrying somebody who I followed for a minute too. But she ripped up. She was trying to trash RFK on her show. And I was like, yeah, this is they're so garbage that they deserve each other. And maybe he maybe she was the one who brought him down, because they ended up before they got together. It was like a video that he made shitting on her when she was working at MSNBC, and I think that she just saw that she got so mad she started plotting. She like, I'm gonna make him just a milk toast neoliberal piece of shit. Everybody who watches him is gonna hate him. He's just gonna be just like me. And I think that's what she did. Or I mean, if that's not what she intended to do, she definitely succeeded in doing it. Monkeypox, LOL. Just don't have unprotected anal sex and you should be fine. Well, don't threaten me with a good time. Well, just, yeah, stay away from biological weapons labs run by Satanists in the deep state. Anybody connected to a company that's getting Department of Defense money, your Bill Gateses, your Klaus Schwabs, all that shit. Stay away from all that shit. Monkeypox. Muted, man. On Twitch, at least. I'm muted. Hold on. No, I can't be. Because I hit the mute button. Hold on. Hate to say, but you got no sound, dog. Yo, Nate, what up, man? No sound. Okay, I'm going to restart this. We're going to see if this helps. All right? In stream. I'm coming right back on Twitch. All right, let's see. Cancel. Oh my goodness, because I got those messages a minute ago. I just wasn't paying attention. But yeah, if someone's on Twitch, let me know if I'm able to be heard. Stay away from bioweapons labs. That's a good advice too. LOL. Yes. And stop funding crackheads like the Biden family, who also make money off of biological weapons labs. That's like, if I had any say, I would keep the money out of biological weapons labs and crackheads who fund them, and instead, switch to a healthcare for all system. In corporations, use that money to fund publicly owned, locally owned businesses exclusively. You know, get all the poisons out of our food, air, water. Stop funding evil people. Lock up war criminals, people at Boeing, the boards and CEOs at Northrop Grumman, all these evil companies. They have to face some consequences. That's like what I'm thinking. LOL. What's up, Nate? Like always, good to see you. Greetings from El Paso, Texas. Oh, welcome, Texas. That was That was the longest road trip I've ever been on in a truck. I was gonna say a car. I've been on a bus trip that was across the country, but we went to El Paso, Texas, when I was in the eighth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, 14ish. Um, yeah, yeah, because my brother's child's mother is in the military, but they both were in the military. But yeah, she was stationed in El Paso, and we went out there. We were supposed to go to Mexico. What is it, Juarez? Yeah, it was my introduction to Whataburger. I didn't eat there, but I saw what it was, and it looked like a bizarro McDonald's because instead of an M, it's a W, so I was confused. But yeah, it's been a while. I haven't been to Texas. I mean, I guess I passed through Texas since then, but even that was a grip ago. Shit, even just passing through Texas, that was like in 2010. But I haven't been there in a while. And I got people who stayed out there because it was the exodus from the Bay Area to Texas. But yeah, um, I need to make way. I mean, I'll be saving up. I'll be doing some traveling in the near future. What Nate just wanted to let you know you muted on Twitch. Oh yeah, let me know if that's working now. Nope, still muted. Oh, G Willikers. G freaking Willikers. That's just my goodness. I muted it and unmuted it. I don't know what it is. I had issues with this. I had issues with my Rumble. I was trying to stream on Rumble for like multiple weeks where it just didn't go through. So that's why I switched to this Twitch. But now I'm starting to think it just might be my phone because this is what I was doing the Twitch on. I mean the Rumble on. I don't know. I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna end it and come right back. Jeez. All right, we're gonna see how that works. 1 star. It keeps asking me every time I end it. Hey, how are we doing? You get a 1 star, bitch. Fuck you. Hey, no one can hear me unless you can. If you can hear me now, I appreciate it, but they still get the 1 star. What up, Nate? I just went to a club for the first time ever. Well, sorry about that. Club mad overrated. um, but yeah, I don't know what your experience was, but yeah, it's a mixed bag. Just stay above the influence. If someone is constantly trying to give you drinks, they're probably out for you. That's probably a predator. Stay away from the predators. Sometimes they seem nice and sweet. No sound for life. It's over for Twitch. Yeah, fuck Twitch. Fuck them. I'm gonna see what else I could use. What other stream site should I be investing in? Because I'm right now I'm streaming on all the censoring sites. But yeah, the edited content, rewinds, employee evaluations, they get uploaded to NatesVlogs.net through Rumble, and also have a bunch of the videos over at Odyssey. But these sites are just for streaming, because these are still my biggest platforms, sadly. And they're also the ones that silence me like a motherfucker. But I'm open to trying something new. Just gotta know which one to invest in because I'm not gonna be keeping up with everything. It's too much stuff to um, know everything. So I like to just be calculated. I miss the days before the intelligence agencies infiltrated. I mean, I guess they've been infiltrated YouTube because Google started by intelligence agencies, started by the government with government funding, big welfare queens. But before they started censoring me, shit, it was pretty legit. It was pretty good. Um, but now it's just like they don't allow an ounce of truth on this motherfucker. So whatever I'm told I can't say is the first thing I want to say. Especially when it comes to like stuff that's life and death, like experimental medical procedures that have injured multiple of my family members that I've been trying to raise awareness of since the beginning because I saw them stripping us of our rights before I was, my family got injured, and I knew that was wrong. But yeah, you know, um, so it's just like where's a good place where I can speak to these ills, because Google, they're directly funding the medical procedure that they won't allow me to speak about. They're profiting off of the dangerous medical procedure that I can't even say out loud because they can just give me a strike and shut me down because they've done it multiple times, 3 channels last year alone, and I've had strikes on this channel, my remaining tech channel. So it's just like, who can I run to? If you have any advice on this, I would love to know. Uh, you know all the good new websites, if there are any. I'd love to just put it on this phone. Make sure um, it's not the phone tripping. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. If you just get back to me if you come across this question later, but I'm looking for another platform. The sound is back. Good, groovy. But still, I'm still looking for a new platform. um, never had Whataburger. Is it better than In and Out? I didn't have it either. Like I said, I only saw it. I just remember the bizarro McDonald's logo. It's just a W. In and Out. Um, I don't know. They're pretty good. In and Out is better than something like McDonald's, definitely. Um, but that being said, I associate In and Out with all of the hype. I had a friend. Every time he got drunk, he wanted to drive like 30, 40 miles to the closest Whataburger. Um, and he was just like, "We gotta have that. We gotta have that." And I associate, or not Whataburger, In and Out. I associate his hype of In and Out with just like it's cool, but it's not like I'm gonna drive an hour half drunk to get you some burgers good. Um, and it's just yeah, so it just wasn't as good as he hyped it up to be, and that's what I'm. It was a good burger, and then I learned like their managers make more than doctors. They pay their workers an actual decent wage compared to like other fast food places. That made me have more respect for them. But still, I'm not I'm not driving that far. But if you live near In and Out, it makes more sense. Better than a good amount of the burger places you can go to. I mean, especially when it comes to paying their workers. Sounds back on your Twitch. Good now. Thank you. I love to know about the technical difficulties I'm experiencing. Have you tried BitChute? As a matter of fact, I have tried BitChute. I haven't updated my BitChute in a minute. That was one of those sites I went to when I started experiencing censorship. Um, but yeah, it was not a lot of growth over there. But I should be throwing spaghetti to the wall just to see if it sticks. I got a bunch of content to upload, to because I haven't posted stuff on there since like 2020 ish. It's been a while. I gotta figure that out. Yeah, yeah. I'll look over on BitChute, seeing what's going on. Evil Facebook is working fine. Yeah, but they're evil. What's like the issue? You kind of said it with the comment. A lot of jobs I applied for got turned down when they found out how I wasn't jabbed. Oh, let me tell you about it. No, I've experienced similar effects. Um, like every I can tell when a company is getting funding from um, certain people, like Bill Gates. He's like infamous for donating money around here. Everything he donates to, they have like mandatory jab requirements, right? It was a opera house where you have to have not just the jab, you got to have like a booster within the past 2 months to work there. To this day, um, and it's just like like his all of his money comes with strings attached, right? He's like viewed as some philanthropist, a child philanthropist. He loves giving to the kids. That's why he was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein so much. But he's viewed as this philanthropist. It all comes with strings attached, but all his money is from welfare. Like he doesn't pay taxes, even though he gets all of his money from our taxes, right? And then every time he gives money, it comes with stipulations that make him more money. So if he gives your company money, you have these requirements that you get a jab that he's going to profit off of. Um, and it's just like it makes no sense to me why there hasn't been like rioting. Why don't the people who are taking this money be like, yeah, we'll take your money. Well, it's really us taking our money back since you get all your money from our taxes. But yeah, you can't tell us what to do. We're just taking back the money you stole from us, and we're gonna fund the arts the way we see fit. We're not gonna give you more money to your side hustle corporations. Like your fucking biological weapons that you want to unleash on the public. You need to be locked up, right? I mean, this is what if I ran one of these companies, this is what I would do. But they just shut the fuck up, take the money, and they just follow orders, and that's why they get put in those positions in the first place. And it's just disgusting that nobody has the courage to just tell him what a disgusting piece of it he really is. But one day I'm just gonna run into him. I was on Reddit, saw a picture of him at a Dick's Burger, which is like a poor man's version of In and Out. Um, when I tell him to eat a bag of dicks, I'm not talking about the hamburgers. I mean like syphilitic dicks that you were experimenting on at your biological weapons labs. At, the Epstein Island ones. those dicks of like Sheldon Adelson while you're on Epstein Island, the ones that look like hamburger meat that he rapes his subordinates with. Eat that dick, Bill Gates. That's what I would tell him if I ever saw him in person. I was I was working this week as a carpenter dismantling a Microsoft project with this union job that uh, uh, my teacher made me aware of. I told my girl, I was like, I'm literally doing Jesus's work. I'm a carpenter dismantling Microsoft. If Jesus was here, this is exactly what he would be doing. Um, yeah, but yeah, that was that. They didn't check for my vaccination card on this job, but most of the stuff is it's a requirement. Like the play I had to do, first musical I was a part of. Um, I had to. They wanted proof of vaccination because it's at a theater that takes money from Bill Gates, right? So I had to, I gave myself a vaccine, created my own vaccine last year or the year before, 2021, and I only had COVID one time. It lasted 2 days. Everybody I know who got those bullshit vaccines, they got COVID multiple times, lasted weeks, sometimes months at a time. Um, But yeah, mine was just like I didn't even have a needle. It was an injection free vaccine. Just circle, circle, dot, dot. Now I got my shot that I can't mention. But yeah, well, um, yeah, and it's just like I got paperwork showing that the maker was God, because I am an avatar of God, so that counts. And yeah, so they were able to accept that because they saw the paperwork and the picture of the paperwork. But uh, yeah, it's just crazy to see in this day and age, people are still wanting the two. You have to have a booster within 2 months. That's just like like have. Do you know anybody who's like up to date on their boosters? Who's like not completely sick as shit? Like uh, my cousin had blood clots that caused a stroke after her fucking the first set of shots. And I had a sibling who started having heart issues. It's just like it doesn't have a good track record, and for that to still be a requirement, it's asinine to me. But um, some people, some people. My cousin got vaxxed and boosted, and she still got it twice. That's what happens, and that's what RFK. Getting back to the topic, RFK, when he was on the show where the lady was shitting on him, he was bringing up how there's an inverse effect where the more shots and boosters you got, the more likely you are to have the disease that is supposed to protect you against multiple times. And that's been my personal experience. Because, like I said, I had the man made, the one I made myself, injection free, had it one time, 2 weeks, right? Everybody know who got the first set of shots, had it multiple times. Like they get it back to back, like 2 times in the same month, and it'll last for weeks. um, yeah, and then like yeah, I don't know many people who got the booster, uh, because I think just people started catching on after the first set. It was just like yeah, I got this shit thinking I'm going to be protected. I got the shit multiple times, but I know there's got it was I got a teacher who was uh gung ho about all the shots because she the theater she works for funded by Bill Gates, the school that I go to funded by Bill Gates, right? So she's like gung ho about it. She's like, as soon as they tell us there's a new booster, I'm going to be getting that too. She's also pro Ukraine war, like she's pro Ukraine Nazi. Um, anything that the news tells her to hate, she'll hate it. Anything they tell her to do, she'll do it. But yeah, she had uh she had COVID probably more than anybody I know because she had to just cut out multiple times, weeks at a time at school, um, because she got sick. You think she'd be the most protected, in her mind. I mean, she's not just doing the math, but she's just it's interesting. Like it's a level of mental gymnastics people have to do to arrive at that position. But she's there, and she's not prepared to question it at all. When I inject some just logic and reason, it's greeted with hostility at times. Um, but I just let her do her. Just don't force anything on me. I'm good. If you think you need you need this shot and this boost to protect you, if it's doing its job, then you don't have to worry about me, right? When you do, but then like that's the thing. It's like I only got sick because you didn't get it too. It's just like that's just it's not logical. It's not sensical. It's just like yeah, you're buying into this make believe, and you expect me to buy into it too, or feel like a bad person for not believing it. But that's like that mentality I'm running into a lot less when the pandemic first hit. It was way more prevalent. But I think people are just catching on to it. People are just realizing they've been lied to. I've been trying to tell y'all. I understand it's hard to hear my perspective because uh, companies like YouTube, they're funded directly in the medicine that I'm trying to raise awareness about. It's a conflict of interest. It should be illegal. In a righteous world, it would be illegal. But they're working directly with the government, directly with the intelligence agencies. Um, they control everything you hear, and they built everything on the empire of lies. It's a house of cards. They're running out of lies, so they do not let you tell the truth. Um, but people are waking up. I'm confident in that fact. God damn it, I can't type today. Well, yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down nonetheless. What up, Nate? The Batman is in the trap cave. I never took those blankety blank shots. I don't trust them. Well, good on you. We're the last of a living breed. I mean, it's a higher percentage of people who didn't take the shot one, but um not enough. Like maybe I'm only saying that because it's like most of my family, a lot of my friends, they got hostile. Like they just bit into it. Like they did. They thought that it's just like they think those shots are so effective that everyone has to do it or theirs doesn't work. And if you actually believe that, then you don't believe in your own shot. And it's just you need to like shake yourself of the belief like that this is working for you because it's not. You were lied to. You were lied to so bad at a rate you can't comprehend. Um, but I still love you. There's no hate. I never hated any of y'all, even though there was some hatred or some nasty words thrown my way for questioning it. It was never hate in my heart. I never wanted you to do what I did. I mean, it would have been nice if like the family who got injured by him, stayed away from it. But it's not because I want you to just follow my lead and just do as I say, which is what a lot of the people wanted me to do. Um, but yeah, it was just genuine concern and just like I remember my girls' aunt and uncle came into town. They came from California because they wanted to like be the first to get the Johnson & Johnson jab. They were eager. It was like the one and done shot. You get that, you're protected from the disease. You don't have to worry about any side effects. It's just all glorious and goodness, right? They got the jab. That was the first jab to be taken off the market. First one. And then it's causing heart effects. The typical side effects that most of the jabs are causing. Blood clots. They called it the clot shot. But yeah, it had all these negative effects. First one to be banned. What did they do? That's also the first one they ended up sending to parts of Africa, um, Haiti, like the colored countries that they said couldn't afford it. They were giving it away to them because we had the worst COVID outcomes or some of the worst, like the higher. I shouldn't have said that. We had the high the worst blankety blank outcomes. um, and the higher your vaccination rate, the worse your outcomes were, right? And like the African countries, like you would think that they would be the worst, if the shots actually worked, but they did not. So like they had a much better turnout than we did. But we were trying to affect that by sending them the deadliest or the first shot to be proven to be the deadliest. And yeah, they didn't really pick up on that. They just started to realize something's wrong. They caught on to it real quick. But yeah, uh, um, yeah, it's just I don't know. I think now it's just like other countries. like in Europe, they had like Robert Malone talking about the side effects and trying to figure out how to make people whole after being lied to, forcefully injected, or coerced into taking something that they didn't want to take. Um, and yeah, I think it's so much money. Where our government is entirely run by the corporations that are pushing this shit. Or really, they're entirely run. It's a symbiotic process because our government, the corporations who are poisoning us are the government, right? Like they got like so much switching between positions. Like someone will go from being a government official to working for the corporation, then go back to being a government official, a regulator of the company that they're profiting off of. It's just so corrupt. So the lines are so blurred. But yeah, people are catching on. I'm just waiting for the day when we bring them to justice. And I mean, that's what my student project was about. Cause I got back after like losing everything, my social media being fucked over. Got back into school for theater. Like I said, the theater funded by Bill Gates. The first play that I wrote that got played in the theater got censored by the director because the content was too submersive. Um, uh, Subversive. But yeah, so I ended up, and I took the theater, and I also took music, and I made Revolution the Musical. You can find that on SoundCloud. I'm putting it out on some other platforms as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what the gist is. It's just like I put out, the title song from the album, like just a few weeks before France had their revolution. So I put out Revolution the Musical, the song from Revolution the musical, and France had their revolution. Now it's up to America to go listen to the damn album so we can bring that revolution here. Uh, I'm just gonna leave on that note. Uh, SoundCloud, Netflix. Well, you can find it at nateflix.net. Let me put that up there. I got a link to it at nateflix.net. You can go listen to it there. Hopefully, it'll get you in the mood to run into BlackRock, run into all the too big to fail banks, and bring them down. And yeah, just do it. Righteously, self righteousness, and just do it understanding that they're robbing you. Uh, Bring them to justice. All right, so don't forget to be good to each other. Peace. Do you think the pandemic was a test run to see how much people will comply with? I can definitely see that because I mean now they're talking about um, climate shutdowns. So yeah, that's why when you see tyranny at any level, your goal is to stand up to it, not allow it, um, and just know that you're not alone. I'm with you. And peace.